this our first topic was going to be Jalen Brunson the other night dropped 39 on the Hawks in Game 5, and the Knicks look like the best team in the East right now. And the way they're playing now, and yeah, we know it's against the Hawks and all that, but they looking really good. And I was going to originally ask you, does it look like they can close it out tonight? But there's no shadow of a doubt. You can 111-57. You can sit everybody else down. You don't even have to worry about it. But anyway, let's talk about how Brunson looked the other day. He dropped 39 points, 8 assists, 15 of 23 shooting. He looked surgical and definitely doing good tonight. OG is the one that's actually scoring most of the points tonight. OG has 17 and 10. Cat has 16, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. The Knicks combined the 2 days before this, the 2 games combined have 45 points, so they did good. Man, that pick and roll combo by Brunson and Towns is just dismantling Atlanta's defense. My question to you, right, is anybody scaring Boston in the East right now besides New York? Because New York, Boston, and them, or Orlando, you don't know who's going to win what these days. It's crazy, right? But what do you think about the way the Knicks are playing? And we know it's a limited Hawks team, right? And maybe they're just not playoff ready. But the way they're executing and playing well with that 1-2 punch and OG on the side and them helping out, I mean, what do you think?
Man, I see that the Knicks still got their starters in right now. Come on, Mike Brown. I mean, I get like you don't want to have the rust and all that, but I'm looking at it right now. They still got Cat in, they still got Brunson in. Everybody that's in the game right now is a rotation piece, so they got to take care of that. But this is actually a pretty big win. The Hawks looked pretty good for large parts of this series. There were games where McCollum, looked like Blazers McCollum. He really looked unstoppable on the dribble drive. Jalen Johnson, just a monster, and just at different points of this series has dominated really. Okongwu was a guy I wasn't too familiar with. When you see the big fella grabbing rebounds on one side, then hitting 3-pointers on the other side, I mean, you can't underestimate the team they're beating. The team they're beating is pretty good. And anytime you take a team behind the woodshed like this and beat them they're up 55 points right now. And and Philly's up on Boston still, right now. So the Pistons are down in the series to the Magic. So right now, even though it went 6, really you could say the Knicks are the only team taking care of business. Now, do I think they're a threat to beat the Celtics? No, not right now. Not right now, I don't. But it remains to be seen because they can come out gangbusters in Game 1. And if they could punch the Celtics in the mouth, and we're assuming that the Celtics are going to get past Philly, I think at some point, whether it's tonight or whether it's the next game, I think they will. But Cleveland and Toronto have kind of taken turns not impressing me. Besides Colin Murray Boyles, who this is a cat I hadn't heard too much about before these playoffs. I love what he's given Toronto. Obviously, there's a lot of cats on Cleveland that are good. I think they're going to pull that game out. Maybe in Game 6, it could be this type of game like the Knicks are having where you just take their heart. You say, from the beginning of the game, you say, let's rev it up. Let's get the A game. Let's avoid the Game 7. So, I mean, if there is a threat to the Celtics in the East, I think we've learned that maybe it's not Detroit. Maybe it is New York, but I still think the Celtics would be a prohibitive favorite there.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think so, too. The way they're playing, it's like the cylinders are firing right now, right? I still don't really know how Atlanta was able to squeak 2 wins out of it, but they did. Everybody has a bad day here and there. But, Matthew, when New York closes tonight, they get to play the winner of the Cavs versus Raptors, the winner in round 2, right? And right now, the Cavs are up 3-2 after Wednesday, right? At first, we're all in our group chat. If y'all don't know, we had a group chat. Hopefully, Eric, our other guy that we be chopping up with, hopefully he can get on here tonight. But with that being said, was that you or Eric? Somebody was talking about the James Harden curse, right? Whatever it was, that curse got broken last night because they end up winning. But if it ended up being the Cavaliers, Knicks versus Cavs, how long do you think that game, or how many rounds do you think they'll go? 5, 6, 7?
That potentially could go 7. I mean, the Cavs have a real team, but you don't like the way they're kind of like struggling against Toronto, who, you know, came in laboring into the postseason. Like Toronto got off to a hot start this year. Then kind of they were leaking a little bit of oil down the stretch, and at different points have found their momentum against the Cavaliers. I don't know if you were watching the game last night, Sean, but the Raptors were still in that game until the very end. If not for a couple like really boneheaded mistakes, I mean, Cleveland was,
and that's exactly what it was. It was the mistakes. That's what it was.
And so I don't know, like Cleveland has the talent to compete with anybody, but it's always with those James Harden teams. You know, they get to the postseason, they start underachieving a little, things start going wrong. There starts being turnovers and bad moments. And I feel like he's so settled in at this point that shouldn't happen. But last night you were seeing it happen. You were seeing some pretty big fourth quarter turnovers, some pretty big fourth quarter missed shots. And really, if it wasn't for the Raptors at the end of the game could not hit the broadside of the barn door, as they say. I think I have that saying wrong. I don't know. Yeah. But there was at one point where Jamal Shed had like 3 opportunities to hit a wide open corner 3. He shot it. He missed. He got the offensive rebound. He missed it again. Then I think he moved to the other side of the court. They found him again after another offensive rebound, and he missed all 3 of them. I mean, it just wasn't their night. But if not for missed shots, I think the Raptors very easily could have won that game. And so it remains to be seen because they've still got one more in Toronto. Toronto has one of the best home court advantages in the NBA. Toronto's an incredible city, incredible people that love the Raptors. So I don't think they're going to fold at home like the Hawks did today. So I think the Raptors are a live dog. I might pick the Raptors in Game 6, but I do think Cleveland emerges from that series. And I think they're a moderate threat to the Celtics. But, you know, Cleveland could get a free ride, too. People forget about this. That's the 4-5 game, if I'm not mistaken, Cleveland and Toronto. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, that's the 4-5 game. So if the Magic end up winning in the 1-8 series versus Detroit, Cleveland could get to play the Magic in the second round. So that's that might be a cakewalk to the conference championship. So definitely watch out for Cleveland.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to drop this real quick.
Make sure you hit the new thanks button down below to donate to our YouTube channel so we can keep bringing you fresh